I am reaching the point of total outrage because the response from the Department of Homeland Security has been totally lacking. In fact, I think it's tantamount to stonewalling in many respects. If necessary, I'll certainly support a subpoena.
So the first case is full of dozens of errors, most of them human errors. And someone needs to take responsibility for that, and I don't think they have had adequately. The Secret Service has not accepted responsibility yet for these failures. If a guy can hang out for 10 hours with a semi-automatic rifle, 100 yards from where the president's playing golf, that's a problem.
The Biden-Harris administration wants you to keep your nose out of their business. Former federal prosecutor Andy McCarthy says the feds are waging a prosecutorial turf war with the state of Florida to keep total control of the case. Why? Because Biden has his fingerprints all over this.
The former president's protective apparatus allowed for the early identification of the threat and led to a safe evacuation. The increased assets directed by President Biden were in place yesterday.
That's the Secret Service director admitting that President Biden is personally involved in Trump's security detail. Joe Biden, the man who can't protect our border, has gotten personally involved in protecting Donald Trump. Biden's directing which assets Trump's allowed to have and not allowed to have. The same guy who raided Trump's house is in charge of protecting his life. The same guy who calls him a threat is in charge of protecting him from threats.
Every leader, national leader, or any leader in this country should be calling out political violence and bringing the country together, not dividing it.
Just to be clear, just to clarify, so you're saying that the president and vice president believe that former President Donald Trump should be toning down his rhetoric?
So I'll say this. President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. He's been clear-eyed about that.
After repeatedly being called a wannabe dictator, a threat to democracy who needs to be eliminated, the former president of the United States has survived 2 consecutive assassination attempts, and his political rival, who is now taking a personal role in his security detail, continues to call him a threat.
It's been only 2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question, the question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it.
They're putting a target on Donald Trump's back and saying Fox asking questions about it's dangerous.
Donald Trump, as Essie said, and it's absolutely true, he created this specter of political violence that we all now live under, and he lives under it too. And so it is his rhetoric that has been, creating this environment for the last 8 years.